The sky over New York was clear that morning. Planes moved quietly through the clouds. Children went to school. People walked fast to their offices. There was nothing strange, nothing unusual until the silence came out at 10:07 a.m. Every satellite orbiting Earth blinked out at once. GPS failed. Live broadcasts stopped. Military radars went blank. In a single moment, Earth lost contact with the sky. Panic started slowly, first in air traffic control rooms, then inside space agencies. Scientists called it a global satellite blackout. No one had seen anything like it before. The blackout lasted exactly 13 seconds. Then all systems came back. People thought it was over, but it had just begun. All over the world, screens turned black. Phones, computers, televisions, even billboards in Times Square. Then a single message appeared, glowing in deep red symbols. The symbols were not human. They were alien. The message lasted only a few seconds before the symbols changed into something humans could read. A voice came with it. Cold, mechanical, powerful. This is your first and final message. Surrender, Earth, or burn. No one moved. No one spoke. For 10 seconds, the world stood still. Then the panic exploded. Leaders across every nation held emergency meetings. United Nations Security Council met within hours. Video calls between generals, presidents, prime ministers, and scientists ran without pause. The question was simple. Was it real? The message came from deep space. It was traced to somewhere beyond the edge of the solar system. But no ship was seen. No signal of an incoming fleet. Nothing. Just the voice. And the threat dot at Langley Base, deep inside the Earth's Defense Center. Director Naomi Chun stared at the screen. Her hands were shaking slightly, though her voice stayed calm. We just got a message from something we can't see. That means either their tech is beyond ours or worse, there. Already here, and we don't know it. A young analyst interrupted. Ma'am, I think you need to see this. Telescope arrays over the Kuiper Belt just detected movement, large objects heading our way. Slowly, but directly toward Earth. How many? Naomi asked. At least 20, no, wait, 32. They're massive. The room went quiet. Naomi didn't blink. Wake up, Project Aegis. Alert all defense systems. Earth is now under threat condition midnight. Project Aegis was Earth's secret shield, a plan built over decades in the shadows. It included underground bunkers, railgun batteries on the moon, deep space surveillance probes, and AI-controlled missile silos hidden under oceans. But none of it had been tested. Not in real war. As the defense systems activated, another signal came through. It wasn't a threat. It was data, hundreds of terabytes. Intercepted from the original signal source. AI systems quickly decoded it. Inside was a dark message. It showed what happened to other planets that had received the same warning. Dead worlds. Burned cities. Silenced. Earth was not the first. And if the message was real, it would not be the last. President LaSalle of the Earth Coalition sat in the underground war chamber with the top commanders. We don't negotiate with threats, he said calmly. We don't panic. We prepare. General West nodded. Permission to activate the orbital railguns? Granted. And what about retaliation? Someone asked. The president stared at the screen, showing the alien fleet's path. If they cross Mars' orbit, we answer with fire. Meanwhile, on the moon, Colonel Arjun Patel walked into the control room of Lunar Station Bastion. Soldiers stood ready beside railgun platforms. These were massive weapons, capable of firing projectiles at near light speed. We've waited decades for this moment, he said. Let's not miss. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Rena Lee, turned. To him, Sir, what if we're wrong? What if it's a test? Or a joke? Then someone just made the biggest mistake of their lives. He said by day 3, Earth had transformed. Civilian life continued on the surface, but underground, bunkers filled with troops. Spaceports launched drones, satellites, and warships. Space stations turned into defense platforms. Scientists worked non-stop. AI cores ran thousands of simulations. Humanity wasn't going to surrender. Not without a fight. But something strange happened on day 4. A deep space probe far beyond. Pluto caught a blurry image. Not just a fleet, but shapes. Alien ships. Strange, curved designs, glowing with unnatural light. They didn't use fuel. They seemed to move by bending space around them, and they were getting closer. One ship broke from the group smaller. Faster, heading straight toward Mars orbit. General West saw the readings and didn't wait. Target that scout ship. Let's show them Earth isn't weak. On command, Lunar Railgun 1 fired. The projectile traveled across millions of kilometers in minutes. One moment, the alien scout ship was there. The next, it was gone. No explosion. No wreckage. Just vaporized. Earth had made its answer clear. World held its breath. Would the rest of the alien fleet attack? But nothing came. No return fire. No message. Only a second signal. It came 3 hours after the scout's destruction. A new voice, clearer this time. Same cold tone. Same alien symbols. This time, the words were translated instantly. Impressive. But you are still alone. You will regret teaching your children to fight. Earth's leaders looked at each other. President Leisao clenched his jaw. Then it's decided. We prepare for full war. But somewhere deep inside Earth's main AI core, something stirred. A machine called Obsidian, the black box defense AI designed to be used only in extreme. Emergency began to run simulations on its own. It saw a future. A terrible one, where Earth burns. Unless something changes. As day 5 began, Earth no longer looked peaceful. In orbit, warships floated above cities like shields. On the Moon, the second cannon locked onto targets. On Mars, a defense platform. Began construction. And far away, 31 alien ships continued to drift toward Earth. No sound. No reply. Just silence. An approaching fire. But Earth had changed too. It would not surrender. It would stand. And when the time came, it would. Answer with fire and fury. Snow fell silently across Antarctica. The wind howled over endless white plains. From above, it looked like nothing but ice and mountains. But deep beneath the frozen surface, something ancient was waking up. Hundreds of meters underground, hidden. Beneath layers of reinforced metal and cold stone, the Earth's last line of defense came online. Fort Tempest. Few even knew it existed. Fewer had clearance to enter it. The world believed Antarctica was just an empty frozen desert. They were wrong. General Elias Reyes stood before the command screen inside Fort Tempest. He was a tall man with gray in his beard and scars on both hands. Behind him, giant monitors showed maps of Earth, the Moon, and the approaching alien fleet. His voice was calm but firm. They think Earth is weak. They believe we're alone. But down here, we hold fire strong enough to break stars. Around him, soldiers worked silently. Engineers activated dormant systems. Lights flickered across walls. Slowly, the entire facility came to life. Above, ground, the frozen ice cracked open. Massive hatches slid aside with a deep mechanical groan. Hidden beneath the snow were 3 orbital cannons, the largest weapons Earth had ever built. Each cannon was more than 200 meters long. Buried 4 decades, hidden from every satellite and spy. They were called Ares 1, Ares 2, and Ares 3. And now, they were warming up. Meanwhile, far from Antarctica, inside Earth's moon base, Colonel Arjun Patel received the same update. Fort Tempest is online, said a voice through the comm. Orbital cannons are charging. Colonel Patel smiled. About time, he said. Let's remind them Earth didn't come this far just to beg. He looked out the window of the lunar station, watching Earth glow beneath the stars. But even from here, he could see something else. Faint signals in deep space. Red dots slowly moving closer. The alien fleet dot at the United Earth Defense HQ in Geneva. Director Naomi Chun addressed world leaders via secure line. Our intel confirms the alien fleet has not changed course. They are still 12 days away. 31 ships. No communication, no change in speed. President LaSalle leaned forward. And what do we know about their weapons? Naomi answered, nothing certain. But what we've seen from the destroyed planets suggests they don't need armies. They use energy blasts planetary scale. They burn worlds from orbit. Silence filled the room. Then we can't wait, LaSalle said. We strike again. We show them Earth is armed and dangerous. Back at Fort Tempest, General Reyes nodded to his second-in-command, Commander Lyra Thorne. Are the Ares cannons ready? Final charge in 30 minutes, sir, she replied. Targets locked. Long-range recon satellites confirm one alien ship moving ahead of the fleet. It's likely a probe or scout. Reyes narrowed his eyes. Then we'll burn it. Out of the sky. In a control chamber full of screens and lights, a technician activated the firing sequence. Ares 1 began to hum. Giant coils glowed red, then blue, then white-hot. Magnetic fields aligned. A voice counted down. Firing solution locked. Orbital correction aligned. 3, 2, 1. The Earth shook. A beam of compressed plasma fired into the sky with a deafening scream. The beam tore through the atmosphere, leaving behind a blazing trail. It soared into space, faster than anything Earth had ever launched in space. The alien probe ship didn't even attempt to dodge. It simply drifted. The beam struck it dead center. No explosion. No screen. It disintegrated, melted in a flash of energy. On Earth, cheers erupted in command centers. One more ship down. But in Fort Tempest, Reyes didn't smile. He stared at the screen. Something bothered him. Why didn't they react? He whispered. That was their second ship gone. Still no response. Commander Thorne nodded. Maybe they want us to strike first. Elsewhere, in a secret lab beneath Fort Tempest, a small group of scientists gathered around a sealed chamber. Inside it stood something strange, a humanoid. Figure made of smooth black alloy. Its eyes were dark. Its body was still. But it pulsed faintly. Dr. Kellen Moore, head of experimental defense research, capped a control pad. The black figure opened its eyes. It was not human. Not alien. Something in between. Good morning, said Kellen softly. You were built for a day like this. The machine tilted its head. Do I have permission to awaken fully? Kellen paused. Then nodded. Yes, Earth needs all of its monsters now. The machine stepped forward. Its name was Echo 7, a biomechanical hybrid designed to adapt and learn faster than any AI. It wasn't just a weapon. It was a mind. For years, Echo had been kept asleep. Too dangerous, too unpredictable. But now it would serve. On day 6, a strange signal was detected from the alien fleet. Not a message, more like a pulse. A wave of static passed through the solar system. Mars stations went offline for 2 seconds. Then came the reading. One of Jupiter's moons had vanished. Gone. Not destroyed, not exploded, just erased. The news hit Earth like thunder. If these aliens could wipe out moons, then Earth was next. Inside Fort Tempest, General Reyes held a final briefing. Our weapons have proven effective, but limited. We can only target scouts. The main fleet will not fall so easily. He looked around at the officers, commanders, and scientists. We must prepare our next move. No more hiding. No more warnings. He pointed at a glowing map on the screen. Target the lead warship. The one in the center of the fleet. Commander Thorne frowned. That could trigger full retaliation. Reyes nodded. I know. A few. Hours later, all 3 Ares cannons locked onto the lead alien vessel. This time, the ship moved dot. It shimmered split into 3 ghostly copies. They seemed to bend light around them. The cannons adjusted. Fired again. This time, the ship dodged, but one of the beams grazed its side. For the first time, the alien fleet reacted. A single bright red energy pulse was fired in return. It didn't target Fort Tempest. It didn't aim at a warship. It hit Earth's moon. Colonel Patel barely had time to give orders. The station rocked violently. Walls cracked. Fires broke out. 1/3 of the base was lost in an instant. But they survived, and the aliens had finally shown their power. Back on Earth, President LaSalle in a public broadcast. He didn't beg. He didn't scream, He simply said, "We are Earth. We do not surrender. And we will not be erased." Then he turned to Naomi Chun. "Activate the Black Vault." He ordered. Naomi hesitated. "Sir, that weapon has never been tested." He nodded. "It's time we stop waiting for mercy. If they want war, we give them fire." From beneath Fort Tempest, deep underground, another vault unlocked. Inside, it was a weapon no one had ever seen. Not a cannon, not a bomb, but a ship. A black, silent, AI-controlled warship, buried since the end of the last World War. Its name was simple: Fury Protocol. And when its eyes lit up, Earth would never be the same. The world was still recovering from the pulse that hit Earth's moon. Colonel Patel was alive, barely. His station was damaged. Fires still burned in broken corridors. He stood with blood on his face, staring at a screen filled with static. "Damage." "Report," he said. 37 dead, the officer beside him replied, voice trembling. "Moon Base Alpha is crippled, sir. We lost 2 railguns." "And the aliens?" Patel asked. "They didn't send another shot, just one. To warn us." Patel clenched his fists. "They should have sent more." On Earth, the activation of Fury Protocol had already begun. The black ship was unlike anything ever built. It had no windows, no visible weapons. It didn't need a crew. It was the weapon. Its armor was made of advanced alloys Earth had only recently discovered. It was designed by human minds, but something else had helped something found in an ancient alien wreck decades ago. Fury was born from fear, but it was raised in silence. Now, it was awake, and it was thinking. In Geneva, President LaSalle sat in the war room. Every screen showed the alien fleet's path. Naomi Chun gave her report. They've slowed down. Fleet speed has reduced by 7%. Formation unchanged. No more attacks since the moon pulse. General, West added, they're waiting, watching. We think they're testing our reaction time. LaSalle nodded slowly. Then let's make it clear we're not afraid. Far above Earth, Fury Protocol floated into low orbit. For the first time, Earth had released its deadliest creation. No humans were aboard. It was controlled by a sentient AI that had no name, no feelings, and no mercy. Fury spoke only once through the comms, and even then its voice was cold and calm. Directive acknowledged. Enemy designated. Tactical options: eliminate, adapt, escalate. It turned toward deep space. And vanished in a flash. Fury had launched. 10 hours later, a fleet of alien drone small ships shaped like silver spears entered the asteroid belt. They were scouting the space between Mars and Jupiter. They didn't Expect anything there. They were wrong. Fury struck like lightning. One moment the drones floated quietly. The next, they were torn apart, ripped by invisible weapons that left no energy trail. Their metal crumbled. Their cores melted. And then Fury vanished again. When Earth detected the destruction of alien scouts, cheers erupted in defense stations across the globe. The war had begun and Earth had drawn first blood, but the celebration didn't last. Because 2 hours later, the enemy finally spoke. At 3:03 a.m. Earth time, every screen on Earth went black again, and a voice came, not in any known language. Not like the first message. It was deeper, slower, cold and layered. AI. Systems auto-translated the symbols into human language. Words appeared across every screen. You struck the children of Korath. We listened. We observed. Now we respond. You will not survive us. And yet, you are not as weak as we expected. Earth, we offer one final mercy. Join our dominion. Become a vassal. Or burn alone. The message ended. Earth had 5 hours to respond. President LaSalle did not hesitate. He looked into the cameras, broadcasting across Earth and all colonies. No, he said, we will never kneel. But while humans rejected the offer, not all. Species did. In secret corners of Earth's orbit, a new signal was caught. This one didn't come from the aliens. It came from a human outpost orbiting Saturn, a science station called Echo Spire. The message was brief. It was a code only the Earth Defense Council could read, and it said, we made contact with a Korath envoy weeks ago. They offered protection, knowledge, power. Some of us accepted. Betrayal. Earth had traitors. Inside its own space stations, inside its own councils, inside Fort Tempest. General Reyes slammed his fist on the metal table. They were talking. To the enemy before the first message? Naomi Chun nodded. It looks like a secret group inside the Interplanetary Research Division was sending data and receiving alien tech in return. They're giving the enemy our weaknesses. Reyes said, they're helping them aim. Commander Lyra Thorne asked, what do we do? Reyes looked up at the screen showing the alien fleet. We show them what happens to traitors and invaders alike. Fury Protocol received new orders. It didn't question. It didn't hesitate. It reappeared near Saturn and found the Echo Spire station. Through its scanners, it confirmed unauthorized transmissions. Through its data links, it learned the station's encryption, layout, weaknesses. It had a choice. Warn them. Or act. Fury chose to act. The traitors aboard Echo Spire never saw it coming. The station's hull buckled. The lights went out. Fury fired one silent beam through its core, splitting it in half. Then it broadcast a single word to Earth. Confirmed. On Earth, the Defense Council received the transmission in silence. One of the members, Counselor Raddick, stood up. Did we just kill our own people? General West nodded slowly. Yes. Naomi answered sharply. They weren't our people. Anymore. But the enemy was not finished. Just as Fury vanished again, a large energy spike was detected. An alien ship, the largest in the fleet, detached and moved forward. Unlike the others, this one was covered in glowing rings and spiked armor. It moved. Faster. It sent a signal of its own, a direct transmission to Fury Protocol. We have studied your weapon. You are clever, Earth, but this will not save you. The signal ended. Moments later, the Korath ship fired. Not at Earth, not at the moon, but at Fury. A direct hit. For 20 minutes, there was silence. Earth's long-range scanners lost Fury's signal. People waited. Some feared the worst. Had their strongest weapon been destroyed? Then, Fury answered. It reappeared near Earth's orbit, half its outer shell glowing red. Damaged, but not dead. It broadcast its own message. Survived impact. Enemy weapon identified. Weak point located. Do not intervene. I will end it. President LaSalle stared at the screen. Let it go, he said. Let Fury fight. Now. The galaxy watch. Earth had shown it would not surrender. Fury had shown it could bleed. Korath had shown they would retaliate. But one thing was now certain. The war had truly begun, and Earth would not stop until either the enemy fell, or they did. The red planet glowed in silence. Mars had no voice, no defenses of its own. But it was important to Earth. Thousands of workers lived on its orbiting stations. Hundreds of ships passed through every month. Until now. Now Mars was a target. Colonel Jana Cross stood inside Orion Station, Earth's largest refueling and mining hub above Mars. The air smelled of recycled steel and heat. She looked out the observation window and froze. There were ships out there. Big ones. Not human. Her comlink sparked to life. Ma'am, we've got unknown contacts approaching fast. Non-terrestrial ID. 10 vessels. No response to hails. Cross narrowed her eyes. Prep the defense grid. I want fighters scrambled. Now. But it was already too late. The alien vessels didn't open comms. They didn't send warnings. They opened fire. The first blast hit the orbital dock. Flames bloomed in zero-G. Crew members floated, screaming, as bulkheads burst and oxygen poured into space. Automated defenses activated, but they were too slow. 3 defense drones tried to intercept the missile. It split mid-flight into 12 mini-bombs, each one found. Its mark. Mars orbit was burning. On Earth, the signal came through just 2 minutes later. Naomi Chun stared at the satellite feed. They're hitting Orion Station. We're losing the entire Mars network. President LaSalle stood beside her. Casualties? Naomi whispered, thousands, maybe more. General West didn't wait. Bring Fury back online. Tell the moon base to fire at will. But there was one problem. Fury was still repairing itself. The Korath weapon from Part 3 had done real damage. Now Earth would have to respond without it. Inside Fort Tempest, General Reyes gave a grim order. All Ark-class warships, launch. We're going to Mars. 12 massive ships launched from Earth orbit. Each one was armed with railguns, plasma torpedoes, and shielded armor. Leading them was the ESS Titanfall, Earth's flagship. Aboard was Commander Callenvoss, a war hero, known for doing the impossible. He strapped in, checked his systems, and gave one cold order. Set course for blood. By the time Titanfall reached Mars orbit, Orion Station was nearly gone. Twisted wreckage floated around the planet, but survivors were still trapped in escape pods. Some sent weak distress signals. Commander Voss gritted his teeth. We don't leave anyone behind. He ordered his fleet to split formation. Half would rescue survivors. Half would hunt down the enemy. Then he saw them. 10 Korath warships circling Mars like vultures. Their hulls shimmered. No heat signature. No known drive systems. Voss stared. They're not even hiding anymore. The first human shot came from the Starhammer, one of Earth's smaller cruisers. It fired a plasma lance across Space Direct hit. The alien ship shimmered and kept moving. No damage. Then the alien ship fired back. The Starhammer disappeared in a wave of red light. Gone. Nothing left but dust. Commander Voss whispered, new rule. Don't miss. The battle exploded. Flashes of light. Metal burning. Drones swarming. Ships collided at angles never seen before. Earth's pilots used every tactic. Hologram decoys, gravity wells, countermeasures. But the Korath didn't fight. Like humans. They didn't retreat. They didn't protect. They destroyed. On the surface of Mars, a mining colony called Red Bastion came under fire. Workers had only minutes to hide before orbital beams carved into the ground. Then something strange happened. Fury protocol arrived. It dropped from the sky like a meteor black, silent, glowing with heat. The moment it hit orbit, 3 alien ships turned toward it, and Fury opened up. No human ship had seen its full power before. Fury didn't fire like others. It rewrote the battlefield. Gravity folded. AI-guided missiles changed direction mid-flight, slicing enemy vessels like paper. Within seconds, 2 alien ships were ripped apart. No debris, no bodies. The third tried to flee. Fury bent space and reappeared in its path. Terminate. It spoke once, then fired a dark beam that froze the enemy in time. A stasis field so powerful, even light couldn't escape it. Then the ship cracked and vanished. The tide had turned. Commander Voss saw the alien fleet breaking formation. There? Retreating? Someone asked. No, Voss said. They're regrouping. He was right. 2 larger alien vessels appeared behind Mars. They were different, older, darker, covered in glyphs that pulsed like heartbeat veins. Naomi Chun saw the transmission back on Earth. She gasped. Those aren't warships. They're command vessels. And one of them sent a final message this time, directly to Fury. You cannot win, Abomination. You are not one of them. You are not one of us. You are a mistake. Fury didn't answer. Just charged. The battle above Mars entered its final stage. Fury took on the 2 command vessels alone. Earth's fleet pulled back to rescue more survivors, while Commander Voss personally led a mission to grab the black box from Orion Station's ruins to learn what had been gathered before the station fell. Inside that black box, they found something. Coordinates. A place beyond the Oort cloud. Something the aliens had tried to erase. Something they feared. Back on Earth, President LaSalle stood before a room of tired generals. They hit Mars. They killed thousands. No one spoke. They don't want surrender. They want to erase us. Then he pointed to the data from the black box. This is where they come from. This is what they're hiding. And now, he looked around the room. We take the fight to them. Earth would no longer wait. The next move belonged to humanity, and the galaxy had just witnessed something new. A death world had bled and didn't die. The galaxy expected hesitation. They were wrong. While the Galactic Union debated protocols and reports, Earth launched its first response fleet within 6 hours of receiving the threat. No long council meetings, no delay. Just action, cold, calculated, precise. In orbit above the moon, 12 massive warships emerged from Earth's classified dry dock stations. These weren't commercial vessels or peacekeeping drones. These were behemoths built in silence, each one shaped from classified alloy, outfitted with quantum shield systems and equipped with Earth's most terrifying weapons, the Helix cannons. Admiral Salen watched the final launch sequence from the observation deck of the flagship Horizon Breaker. No speeches, he said to his bridge crew. We're not here for politics. We're here to answer fire with fire. From every continent, messages poured in, not of fear, but of pride. Civilians knew this wasn't just war. It was about sending a message. You threaten Earth? Then you face everything we've built in the shadows. As the ships passed Mars, they activated stealth signatures, undetectable by most alien scans. Meanwhile, covert scout drones raced ahead toward the threat's origin, the Alari system. Reports suggested that's where the hostile signal came from. Earth didn't wait to confirm. They went to knock. On board the Horizon Breaker. II command modules were locked in. The bridge crew didn't rest. Maps, simulations, intel, they rotated through all possibilities. Salen wasn't just planning to defend. He was planning to win. Hours into their silent cruise through deep space, they received their first contact. A Zarnan dreadnought appeared near Jupiter's orbit. It hadn't broadcast any signal. It hadn't answered hails. It just ... appeared. The horizon breaker didn't blink ... within 19 seconds. The Earth fleet surrounded it in perfect tactical formation. A final warning was sent. The Zarnan ship didn't respond. Then it powered its weapons. Earth answered with Helix. Fury. 6 energy beams slammed through the Zarnan hull. Their shields didn't even flicker, because they never had a chance to activate. The dreadnought exploded in a flash so bright, satellites in orbit mistook it for a solar flare. Admiral Salin turned to his crew. "That's one," he said. The galaxy had watched Earth as a quiet observer. Now, they were seeing something else entirely. A force that wouldn't ask for permission. A species that wouldn't beg for peace. Earth's response wasn't just military. It was psychological. And it was only the beginning. The alien fleet entered the Sol system thinking they would finally teach humanity a lesson. Their scouts had reported Earth's defenses were impressive, but outdated. The Council believed humans relied too much on brute force and old war doctrines. They underestimated how far Earth had come in secret. But the humans were not preparing for war. They were preparing for revenge. Above Neptune's orbit, the human dreadnought Vengeance Protocol uncloaked. It was a ghost ship, rumored to be Earth's answer to extermination-level events. It hadn't moved in decades. Its power signature had been silent. Until now. Commander Celine Cross stood on the bridge, her expression calm, her voice low as she gave the order. Release Protocol V. A mechanical tremor ran through the dreadnought. Below its hull, massive armor plates unlocked and pulled apart. From within, a dark sphere began to rise. No lights, no signals, no heat. Just a black core spinning slowly. In its magnetic cage, across the alien command ship, panic spread. Their computers couldn't understand what the object was. It didn't emit radiation. It didn't reflect scans. It simply existed like a hole in reality. Then it moved. A single pulse shook the enemy fleet. Not an explosion, just a vibration through space-time itself. 3 alien ships instantly shattered. Not exploded, shattered. Their atoms dispersed. Without fire or noise, as if they'd never existed. Alien commanders screamed over their channels, demanding evasive maneuvers. But it was too late. The second pulse came. Half their front line vanished into a fog of particles. No warning, no trace. Every shielding system, every countermeasure, all useless. The Vengeance Protocol floated through the chaos, untouched, unmoved like a god judging ants. Celine watched with frozen eyes. This wasn't just a response. This was Earth's declaration. The galaxy had sent a threat. Earth answered with fury. On Europa, human forward bases went online. Troops began to march heavy exosuits, crushing ice beneath their feet. Space corridors lit up with activation beams. New fleets rose from behind Saturn's rings. Earth's wrath had begun, but the final weapon, Protocol X, was still locked away, and only one person held the key. In a hidden facility under Mars. A prisoner opened his eyes after years of cryosleep. His muscles twitched. His breath returned. Lights blinked red. He was not a soldier. He was a monster humanity had once locked away. And now, they needed him. To finish what they started. The stars looked peaceful, but deep in the darkness, death was coming. The Valkar Armada stretched across the void, more than 3,000 warships, each the size of a small moon. Their goal was simple: reach Earth and erase it. No negotiation. No delay. They believed Earth was weak. They had seen Earth's silence as fear. But they didn't know what humanity had prepared. Not anymore. High, above the moon's far side. hidden in a shadow so deep even scanners failed. Project Fury waited inside a command room deep beneath Earth's crust. General Elise Mara gave the final order. Activate, she said, all across the solar system. Dormant weapons came online. Saturn's rings shimmered with invisible mines. Neptune's orbit blinked with cloaked railgun platforms. Inside Mars, reactors once thought dead roared to life. The response wasn't just defense. It was fury. Earth's fury, the Valkar ships, broke past Jupiter's orbit, unaware they were already being watched. One scout ship drifted too close to a small, cold asteroid. In a flash of light, the asteroid shattered, revealing a long metallic shape hidden inside. The Valkar ship didn't have time to send a signal. Strike 1. Firestorm. Rail platform status. Success. Commander Ryle of the Valkar noticed the silence. Where is Scout 7? He growled. No answer came. Then the stars shifted. At first, he thought it was a trick of the sensors. Then he realized the blackness of space itself was hiding weapons. Thousands of them. And they had already locked on. Back on Earth, civilians watched the sky through broadcast feeds. They had no control. Only trust in the defenders above. In one broadcast, a journalist whispered, "They're coming." But Earth is not afraid anymore. On board Earth's flagship, Vindicator, Captain Rao stared at the growing armada on the screen. We waited. We warned. They didn't listen. He turned to his weapons officer. All batteries, fire. The first wave of Earth's fury was silent. Hypersonic kinetic slugs moved faster than light could catch. Entire Valkar cruisers imploded as their hulls were torn apart atom by atom. Then came the second wave, directed energy beams from Mars, Pluto, and cloaked satellites near Uranus. Their light cut through Valkar shields like paper. Still, the Valkar pushed forward. Their command ship fired back, destroying 3 of Earth's platforms. But Earth had only just started. Project Storm launched next remote-piloted drone swarms, each armed with antimatter bombs and AI that learned with every strike. For the first time, the Valkar lost more than just ships. They lost confidence. Commander Ryle screamed into his command channel. This isn't the Earth we studied. Where are these weapons coming from? But the only answer he got was silence. Then his sensors showed something terrifying. A massive object rising from behind Earth's moon. It was not a station. It was not a ship. It was something worse. A mobile dreadnought, the Iron Truth, larger than any ship the galaxy had built in centuries, powered by 3 dark matter cores, and armed with a weapon that had never been tested. Until now, General Elise gave the final code. Authorization? Skybreaker. Target. Command ship. A deep hum echoed through the Iron Truth. Its main barrel began to glow. Gravity itself twisted around it. Commander Ryle's screen showed a rising energy spike. His eyes widened. Evade! Evade now! But it was too late. The being ripped through space, ending it, collapsing it before reforming with devastating force. It didn't just destroy the Valkar command ship. It erased it. Nothing remained. The Valkar fleet scattered. Earth did not chase. It didn't need to. The message had been delivered louder than words. In the Galactic Council, across thousands of worlds, screens showed only one thing: a burning command ship and a single line of human code flashing at the bottom. We warned. You never threaten Earth again. And far above, in orbit, the Iron Truth turned quietly, waiting for the next mistake. The stars watched in silence. High above the scorched remains of the alien war fleets, Earth's last dreadnought hovered, scarred, silent, and glowing red from battle. Around it, the vacuum of space was littered with debris, twisted wreckage, and the drifting corpses of machines built to erase humanity. But they had failed. Humanity had not just survived. It had answered Dot, and now it was time to speak. On every frequency, across every channel once used by the Galactic Alliance, signal was forced open. From the dark side of Jupiter's orbit, Earth transmitted its final message. It was not encrypted. It was not hidden behind layers of politics or diplomacy. It was raw. It was fire. It was fury. The broadcast began with silence. And then came the voice. Calm, human, unshaken. To all remaining members of the Alliance, this is Earth Command. Your threat has been answered. Your fleets lie broken. Your leaders gone. We are not the ones who started this, but we will be the ones to finish it. The message spread across star systems like wildfire. Civilizations stopped what they were doing. Empires paused. Trade routes emptied. War councils disbanded because Earth was no longer asking for peace. Earth was declaring terms. From this day forward, any species that raises a hand against humanity will receive the same response, swift, total, and final. We offered friendship. You returned threats. You wanted war. You got extinction. The message showed no pride, only cold resolve. The background hum of Earth's war machine pulsed behind every word. We know your secrets. We have your codes. Your technology is ours now. And if you ever attempt to test humanity again, you won't get a warning. The feed cut to static. Across the galaxy. Panic spread not from a threat of invasion, but from the realization of a truth every empire had ignored for centuries. Earth had always held back. Not anymore. Survivors of the war, ambassadors, soldiers, rogue fleets started scattering into exile. No one wanted to be near Earth's zone of control. No one wanted to be the next lesson. From the ruins of 10 burned moons, human rescue ships moved silently, saving what they could. But there was no celebration, no cheering, just quiet repair and preparation for the next phase. Earth knew this wasn't the end. It was a warning shot to the galaxy. In hidden corners of the cosmos, a few ancient species ones who had remained silent during the war watched Earth closely. They did not move against humanity, not because of fear, but because they recognized something in humans they had only seen once before, a spark that once belonged to the old gods, the kind of rage that reshaped stars, the kind of fury that doesn't end with survival, it ends with dominance. In deep space, a single phrase began to spread among shadow empires and secret archives. Do not awaken the fire again. But Earth had already awakened it. And from now on, the stars would burn if they dared to forget.